And in case you missed it over the weekend, this happened.
This for college basketball history. She does it with a foul shot. Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball history. Passing Pistol Pete Maravich, a record that's lasted for 54 years.
Here's G. Scott. And as soon as that happened, I looked at some of the comment sections, and people immediately began saying, but when Pete was setting his record, there was no three-point line, there were no shot clocks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Actually, it's so annoying when
guess
people
what?
do that.
Have you all ever gotten to that point in your life where you're just like, I'm not arguing with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And the thing is that when you get to that point, I've finally figured out and understood why what happens. Usually it's because you have either studied that topic or you understand wholeheartedly that topic. And so when you do that, you have better control about that topic. Mm-hmm. The Caitlin Clark conversation is something that I'm very passionate about because she's absolutely my favorite player of all time. My son and I absolutely love Caitlin Clark. Let me take you back to what happened. Last season, she lost the NCAA tournament. They lost. They didn't win it. They lost in the championship. She lost to LSU.
I remember that now.
Yeah, right? And so one of the things that my son and I talked about is we talked about, I wonder what she's going to be doing in the offseason. And we talked about, I bet you she's going to be so relentless in the offseason that she's going to come back her senior year and she's going to be gangbusters, right? So that's all we talked about was that. And now here she is, 3,668 points, all-time men's, women's leader. I don't want to talk about anything other than that. She's so good. She's so good that when you turn on the television, all you can do is just, your jaw is going to drop.
She has a magnetic pull towards her, too. When you see it, you want to watch her.
She's going to be to the WNBA what Larry Bird and Magic Johnson was to the NBA. Wow. Right? It was like, well, when did the NBA catch fire? Yeah. When them dudes came in there. And so people are listening, so someone might be thinking, oh my goodness, G, what about the other players back in the past? First of all, again, I know Cheryl Millers, I can go Cheryl Swoops, I can go all into women's basketball. But here's the thing that stands out today that's different than yesterday. There's this 3 letters called NIL, name, image, likeness, right? So years ago, when great players like Caitlin Clark were doing these things, they got paid no money. They got no endorsements, no nothing. So college basketball and or football, whatever the sport is, college sports would make all of this money on this player, and that player would get nothing. Now, Nike is all in, and all of the big endorsers all in. Yesterday at the game, Travis Scott, who, by the way, Dave, Travis Scott to the youngsters what Elvis Presley used to probably be to you. You feel me? Travis Scott was at the game, showed up. Jake from State Farm. He was at the
State Farm.
Yeah.
Now we're talking star power.
This is what it takes.
Yes.
It takes allies bringing attention
you know what I mean?
But she was drawing crowds to those games, right? Before
yeah.
Big crowds.
I remember when we were saying, well, nobody's going to watch women's sports. Well, that's changed.
It's going to change.
So who's going to scoop her up? I want her on the Storm.
I bet
Who's the top team in WNBA?
Right now?
Who could pull a Caitlin Clark?
I mean, the top team wouldn't. It'd be kind of the worst team would get them, right, for the draft purposes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, look, I bet every city wants to get a Caitlin Clark. I just really love her game. I love how relentless she is. And it goes to show you, I can do a talk on Caitlin Clark. And I just want to say this. For those that have kids or you're an adult, is there anything that you are so passionate about that you will do every single day for 3-4 hours a day? Mm-hmm. Whatever that is, you're going to be really good at that. That's what we see with Caitlin Clark when she gets out there on the court. It is just beautiful. Again, I don't get into, well, what about? I ain't what about nothing. I want to celebrate that young lady and what she's doing. Des Moines, Iowa, 22 years old, and she's
only 22.
22.
Oh, she's bad.
She's a bad man.
And she's
I
only
wanted
6
you to
feet
say-
tall.
That's what I'm saying.
She's 6 feet tall.
Wait. Before I go, Dave,
Yes.
how come every topic come up, why you got to bring up height?
What do you
Dave's
think?
impressed by height.
I'm just asking you. Why is height coming
Because
up?
I
Everything
spent-
got to be about height.
I spent my life looking up at the world. That's why.
Yeah, that's why he liked Tyler Lockett, because
That's
he
right.
finally felt like,
I know.
he had somebody on his.
Normal-sized guy
yeah.
can catch passes.